What's a fraternity?
What?
What's a fraternity?
What? Hold on a second. You don't know what a fraternity is?
No.
This whole video's not gonna work.
Excuse me. True love is hard to find. Sometimes you think you have true love, and then you catch the early flight home from San Diego.
Today, Mitch's life took an unexpected turn.
Heidi,
What are you doing home?
a couple of new people jump out of your bathroom blindfolded like a damn magic show.
I'm really sorry.
I'm really sorry.
Now, Mitch, you're on the rebound. You're like an injured young fawn who's been nursed back to health, who's finally going to be re-released into the wilderness. He's getting a little help from his friends. I want to thank you very much for coming to the official Mitch Martin Freedom Festival.
Freedom Festival.
Successful, very disease-free gentlemen. From DreamWorks Pictures, you're officially starting a fraternity.
This is my house. Heard you guys are starting up a fraternity. Who told you that?
And the director of Road Trip.
We're giving out bids to 14 guys.
Wait, who's this
Will
guy?
Ferrell.
Looks like he's 100 years old. Ring the bell, you pansy.
That was a party.
I want in. Half these guys don't even go to the school.
I promised my wife I wouldn't drink tonight. Yeah, I'll do one. I'll do one. Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
So good.
Take it too seriously. You may be asking yourself, why is this cinder block tied securely to your
Earmuffs.
Don't you think this is going a little far?
Frank, just pace yourself. Sorry. Luke Wilson.
I get the feeling you have an
God.
entirely distorted view of who I am.
Will Ferrell.
If you tell anyone about this, I'll kill you.
My wife, always smiling, I'm judging, watching. Look at the baby, look at the baby. Be careful. That's the most powerful drink gun on the market.
That's awesome.
Old school.
Dude. Another. Now, this one much
I think
more.
you like your 2000s comedies.
I do, yes. I'm a kid of the 90s, teenager, young adult of the 2000s. Yes, old school. Another pivotal comedy pillar in my wheelhouse. This is definitely way more mainstream than the movie we just did a trailer reaction for, which is Hot Rod. This one is a huge movie. I'm sure you've heard of Old School.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yes, and some of these lines in this are just timeless. Me and my buddies are still quoting it 20 years later. So let's get your initial guess of the plot for Old School. Let's start with the facts. Let's start with the facts that were explicitly laid out to you in the trailer. What do you know?
So I know that this guy, what's the main guy? Lewis something.
Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson, not Lewis.
Close.
Combined it a little bit.
Yeah, he's Owen Wilson's brother.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Luke Wilson gets cheated on.
Yeah.
And with people blindfolded in his bathroom.
Happens.
And I think that his friends are trying to get him, his mind off things, to get him partying and all this stuff. And I think, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
So it's mainly, the middle is all gonna be just.
Pause. Whenever we review or do a comedy movie, there's always one moment you say, well, it's a comedy. Which is basically you saying there doesn't actually need to be a plot, right? I don't actually have to give you an answer. I'm just gonna say it's a comedy.
True. Kind of, right? Because I guess throughout them, usually what
This is
a
fun.
comedy is it's mainly about the jokes in between, right?
It is, but a very successful comedy and a comedy that lasts the amount of years that this one did. There's something to it that gives it a little bit of pizzazz.
I really just think that the jokes are hidden in their friends going out and either embarrassing Luke Willis or just embarrassing themselves.
Luke Willis.
Is that his name?
Luke Wilson. I just think you combine Luke Wilson and Bruce Willis, and I just got a bald Wilson brother, and I made me laugh. All right, you ready to hear the actual plot?
I'm ready to hear the actual plot.
Okay, so you got the beginning.
Yeah.
Did you forget that they started a fraternity?
What's a fraternity?
What?
What's a fraternity?
What? Hold on a on a second. You don't know what a fraternity is?
No.
This whole video's not gonna work.
What's a fraternity?
Yes, you do. You know what a fraternity is. A frat? A frat?
Yeah, I know
Have you
what a
heard of a
frat-
frat
yeah,
party?
yes.
You know what a frat is?
Yeah.
Okay, fraternity.
Is that multiple of them?
No.
Is it like plural?
No. Shh. Just listen. What do you think frat is short for? F-R-A-T.
Fraternity?
Fraternity. Mason, if you remember,
Yeah.
they mentioned in the trailer that they're going to start a fraternity or a frat. So anyone that doesn't know,
Anyone else? It's not me. I know what it is.
after his girlfriend breaks up with him, they end up splitting up. She, I'm assuming, keeps the house, or they just were in an apartment and they get separate living. And he starts renting this house that's basically on campus at a college.
Got it.
And then his buddy owns an electrical store, so he wants to throw this big, like, single Mitchapalooza party, which we see in the trailer, so that he can get a girlfriend, or, you know, just have
a fun night.
yeah, whatever you want to call it. Trying to be semi-PC here. So after this party, a lot of the people that were there were obviously from the college that they live right next to.
Yeah.
And they end up wanting to hang out. And the guy who's running the electric store, who's Vince Vaughn, who's amazing in this movie, and this was a big resurgence for him. Like, he got big for Swingers, then kind of fell off, and this is what brought him back up. This is what Will Ferrell took off with. This was like Frank the Tank, which is his character in this. Like, people still do Frank the Tank, Frank, when you get to college, you'll see. And I hope they still do that.
I don't think they're still gonna do that.
And you'll start it back up. Every 20 years, shit comes back in style. This is about time that this all comes back. This is about to be retro. So they end up starting, Vince Vaughn ends up convincing Luke Wilson to start a fraternity and use their house as a fraternity house. So they end up doing that, and then, you know, the dean of the school doesn't like it too much because there's a bunch of old men running around saying they're a frat, and then shit goes haywire. But yeah, there's all the comedy aspect of it and stuff like that. But I can't think of anybody that wouldn't enjoy this movie. It's one of those movies. It's literally anybody. My wife loves it. My best friends like it. I'm pretty sure my dad's watched it. He likes it. You would like it. Anybody would like it. It's especially if you're going to college, watch this movie. Because even though it's about old men that are not in college age going there, it still hits on all those great classic college elements. They basically, and Todd Phillips, who's the director of this, he did a lot of those just like coming of age movies, like going back, you won't know any of his movies, but he knows the formula for hitting that like high school college experience and doing it very well. So I would highly suggest checking this movie out. Sweet. Mason, you think you're gonna do it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a movie that I know a lot of people have seen, so I'll probably get with a friend.
It's the type of movie that it's going to be on at a party at some point in your life. Even if you haven't seen it prior to that, you're like, oh yeah, I remember my brother was telling me that this is a cool movie, so maybe when I'm 30, I'll watch it. Yeah. Thanks for checking out this video, fellow backtrackers.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that.
Yeah, if you got a video or a movie you want us to cover, like, just let us know in the comments.
Follow Instagram, Facebook, and all of our socials.
Or don't, I don't really give a shit.